$90 million. $90 million is what Ontario told the federal government on Friday in Winnipeg that that government had expended in terms of welfare payments to people who had illegally crossed the border from the United States of America into Canada and then subsequently claimed asylum this year. This, of course, is the illegal border crossing crisis that I've been talking to you so much about. And again, this information that we found out on Friday is shocking, but it's not a shock, because we know that the province of Quebec has been asking for a lot of money to deal with social programs related to the border crossing crisis. And in fact, reports on Friday as well said that Quebec was turning away children of asylum claimants in their daycare program. The reality is that the federal government under Justin Trudeau, even though he tweeted #Welcome to Canada, has no plan at all to deal with the illegal border crossing crisis. So this is why I'm here in Ottawa today. The federal Conservatives, I've made a request through the standing orders to have an emergency meeting of the House of Commons Standing Committee on Citizenship and Immigration because of the numbers coming out of Ontario in terms of their ask to the federal government, because of the numbers coming out of Quebec in terms of all of the costs of social programs that are coming out of that particular province, and because of other issues like August 9th, all of the college dorms that have been used to house illegal border crossers who have claimed asylum, they're going to be evicted because students need to go in there. And even though it's the middle of the summer and Parliament isn't sitting, Justin Trudeau and his immigration minister need to account to the Canadian people, to you, on what their plan is. Now, the reality is that I know they have no plan. All they're doing is every time something like this happens, they get in front of a microphone and say, oh, here's $200 million. Let's hope the problem goes away. But there is a process by which we actually allocate funds, and it's called the federal budget process. All this money that the provinces are asking for, they haven't budgeted for this, and we know that Justin Trudeau is running a huge deficit. I can't allow them to continue spending all this money without coming before us, the people who you have elected to make strong and smart decisions with your tax dollars, to account for what their plan is. They don't have a plan. All they've done is created a refugee camp at the US-Canada border, and they have done nothing to actually decrease the demand on the system. I have been telling you for months that they should be closing the loophole in the Safe Third Country Agreement, this loophole that is allowing people to reach the United States, then illegally cross the border and claim asylum in Canada. That should have been dealt with months ago. But now we're seeing the results, and that is people who have come to Canada with the hope of claiming asylum here after already having reached the US. They're placing demands on our social programs in the provinces, and the provinces are saying, hey Trudeau, how are you going to pay for this? This is a giant disaster. I mean, I was on a radio program with a Liberal MP a couple of weeks ago where he said that their quote-unquote plan was to put illegal border crossers who had claimed asylum onto buses and ship them to other homeless shelters in the province. Like, I mean, these are people's lives. Like, this is Trudeau's plan to bus people to other homeless shelters. How much is that going to cost? Is that in the best interest of anybody? No. So this is how this is going to work. There's a standing order that allows 4 members of Parliament. So we worked actually with the NDP member to call this meeting. So 3 Conservatives and 1 NDP meeting. We forced the Liberals to hold a meeting tomorrow. At that point in time, I'm going to ask via a motion to have the immigration minister and provincial counterparts testify in front of this committee in order to get some answers on this. Now, the Liberals hold the majority on this committee, so that means that they can shut this down at any point in time. I don't want that to happen. I mean, regardless of political stripe, we're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars here, and we're talking about people's lives here. And you know what the Liberals have been doing over the last few weeks is they've been trying to normalize all this. Like, you'll notice that Trudeau's immigration minister on Friday, he actually called Minister Lisa MacLeod, the new immigration minister in Ontario, he called her un-Canadian and a fearmonger because she was asking what the federal government was going to do to cover the costs of welfare payments for the Ontario budget. So they're trying to divert with this really divisive rhetoric. The other thing they're doing is just putting out things that are factually incorrect. So for example, the immigration minister this afternoon said that, one of his tweets said that, no, there's no impact on other lines of processing for immigration. Well, really, if you're going to send 80 staff to process the claims of illegal border crossers, those resources could have been used to process the claims of people who are trying to come to Canada legally through other streams like family reunification. So I don't know what the Liberals are going to do. My gut sense is that they just want this to go away and that they're going to try everything in the book. They're going to try everything to try and prevent us from holding Justin Trudeau and his immigration minister to account. I could be wrong. But I think what we need to do is we need to get this message out, regardless of how you voted, or regardless of how you think the outcome of this policy should be, the immigration minister and Justin Trudeau should be held to account for, at the very minimum, budgetary expenses that they haven't accounted for yet. So tomorrow or today, if you have time, pick up and phone a Liberal member of Parliament. Pick up and phone their office and just say, you better vote in favor of this meeting. You better make sure that this meeting happens. And then tomorrow, if they don't for some reason, certainly that's something that we have to hold them to account for their lack of transparency on this. Hopefully all of our efforts today, and my colleagues and I have been putting a lot of pressure on the Liberal government in the media to have this meeting. Hopefully that will bear fruit and we can try and get some answers. But I need your help. Please share this video. Please contact a Liberal MP, talk to your friends and tell them how important this is, because this is something that we need to get to the bottom of as soon as possible. And we need to force Justin Trudeau to have some sort of plan for that holier than thou hashtag welcome to Canada tweet that he put forward with no plan of what to do when people actually came to Canada. I want a compassionate asylum claim system that prioritizes the world's most vulnerable. What we're seeing in Canada over the last 2 years under Justin Trudeau is not that. And so I'm here in Ottawa in the middle of the summer trying to force an emergency meeting of a House of Commons Standing Committee, because that is what parliamentarians should be doing. And hopefully these Liberal members who were calling back from their vacations should be, voting in favor of having a meeting. Because again, even though they're Liberals, their job is to hold their government to account too. And it's completely irresponsible for the immigration minister and the prime minister to be, responding with hundreds of millions of dollars like it's fun coupons with no plans or no transparency to you on how that's happening. So please share this video. Tomorrow, tune in, make sure that you pay attention to what's happening with this meeting. I'm headed to my office right now. I just came from the airport. Going to be putting together all of our different strategies for what they could possibly do tomorrow, and we're going to be ready for them because we work harder and we work smarter than the Liberals do. Working hard for you in Ottawa, and for all of you in Calgary. I'm so sorry I had to leave Calgary Stampede early. It's really important for me to be here today getting ready to hold these Liberals to account. Working hard for you in Ottawa. Have a great day.